Yesterday, we talked about this problem of trying to be perfect. So you can't talk about trying to be perfect without talking about guilt. So today we're going to talk about guilt because it's so common that we don't do things well and we beat ourselves up. I was just reading an article written by a devotee in India about beating yourself up. He said, you beat yourself down, because in American English, beat yourself up means you beat yourself down. But I don't think he understood. So he said, beat yourself down. Yeah. Like fall in love. Yeah. Fall in lust, you go down. Yeah. Anyway, when we're trying to be Krishna conscious, will we fall short in our conditioned state? Of course we will. We're trying. Should we feel guilty about it? Well, sometimes we should and sometimes we shouldn't. When should we feel guilty? If we do something drastically wrong, sinful, horrible, which we should not have done, then it would be wrong not to feel guilty. It would be wrong not to apologize. But I don't think that's the problem, because what I see is there's a lot of guilt because we're falling short of our ideals. We're falling short of our goals. So one of the problems is, as you read through Shastra, you read about the lives of these amazing devotees who are light years ahead of us. And if you start to compare yourself to them, you could feel very guilty. Think, look at me, I'm so full of lust and greed and envy and so forth. And these pure persons are amazing, and I'd like to be like them, but I'm so far from them. I could easily feel guilty. I am envious sometimes of my best friends. Sometimes I get angry at my loved ones. Sometimes I'm lusty. Sometimes I'm greedy. I'm accumulating more than I need. Just see how bad I am. Now, it's natural to feel a little guilty when you compare yourself to a pure devotee. So this is what I would suggest. When you're reading stories about pure devotees who are light years beyond, ask yourself the question, how could I get 1 foot closer to them today? What could I do? From reading this story, hearing about them, hearing about this devotee who was harassed and he took everything as Krishna's mercy and he didn't retaliate. How could I get 1 foot closer to being that way? That's what we want to ask. But if we look at that and we feel guilty, then that guilt is going to disempower us. And worse than guilt, shame. We just feel bad for being who we are, for maybe even existing. It's not good for your Krishna consciousness. It's not what Prabhupada is teaching us to do. It's not what he wants us to do. Now, if you take a vow and you break the vow, yes, you should feel bad. If you're chanting aparad, nam aparad every day, you should feel bad. You should be remorseful. You should ask yourself, not ask yourself, you should ask Krishna to be forgiven. Yes, you should do that. And then from that point, you should stop committing those offenses or sins or whatever it is you're doing wrong. Move forward. And if you're sincerely trying to improve, be happy you're moving forward. You will get energy from sincerely trying to improve. If you feel guilt, it's just going to negatively impact you. It's going to discourage you. It's going to depress you. So guilt is good when you should be guilty. Guilt is not good when you shouldn't be guilty. And so one of the things we find within our movement and all religious movements is that our ideals are so high. Our morals are so high. Our standards are so high. It's a natural breeding ground for guilt because we're all falling short. But Prabhupada never judged us that way. Prabhupada never made us feel guilty. He always made us feel happy to be a devotee. My last thought, I was asked today to speak on mercy. And I was thinking, have you ever thought sometimes like, I'm a bad devotee? I wish I were a better devotee. I'm not a good devotee like that. The key to focus on is the word devotee. Because without mercy of Mahaprabhu, you couldn't even be a devotee. You couldn't even say, I'm a bad devotee. Because without his mercy, you couldn't even be a devotee. So even to be a bad devotee is kind of amazing that we're even devotees. So it's another twist to prevent yourself from feeling so bad that I'm not great or perfect. I'm a bad devotee. Fantastic, you're a devotee. At least you're a devotee, even though you're bad. But I don't chant well. Well, you're chanting. At least you're chanting. That's better than not chanting. So let's kind of spin things around a little bit so we can be encouraged. I'm a bad devotee, excuse me, but at least I'm a devotee. Good or bad, at least I'm a devotee. I've got mercy. I've got Mahaprabhu's mercy. I should be enthusiastic. Like the story, I think it was Mukunda. Mahaprabhu said, I won't give you mercy for 1,000 lives. And he was dancing in ecstasy, or 1,000,000 lives. Everyone said, why are you dancing in ecstasy? It looks like you just got cursed. No, in 1,000,000 lives, I'll get mercy. So keep going, you'll get mercy. Don't stop yourself by your own depressed, guilty thoughts. It's not going to help you. Hare Krishna.